Got defeat here against Braintree. How do you reflect on what I'm sure will be a disappointing and frustrating afternoon for yourself?
Yeah, look, we're in a tough place, aren't we? Everyone can see that. We've actually, the worry is we played pretty well today, and we played pretty well in the last game, but we've still got 0 points from those. So, look, we need to get out of our comfort zone. I think we're in a fight. I've fought that for a little while. We need to show a different side of us to get results at the moment. So that's where we are.
What does that say to you, the fact that, like you say, we played well today and still left empty-handed? What do you take away from that?
Well, that can happen. You know, that can happen. It can happen whether you're at the top of the league or mid-table, bottom of the league. But at the moment, the lads are short of confidence. They're not short of, I don't think, spirit. I think they're short of confidence. Maybe we picked the wrong option a number of times in the first half when we had good openings. Second half it became a bit more open, and we picked the right option a lot of the time until the last bit, the finish. But the manner of the goals we conceded, you can't legislate for that really, and we're just giving ourselves too much to do. So look, there's a realisation now, I hope, amongst the group, because we've been really honest with each other. I think we've got a fight on our hands, and we need to make sure there's enough in that change room to help us get out of that fight, because we've made it really difficult for ourselves in the last few weeks, but it's been a disaster. So look, we had some decent individual performances today, but it counts for nothing. So we can't stand there and say well done to anybody. Some of the lads will know they've put a real shift in for the club again, but the bottom line is we're all paid to win games, not just turn up and work hard. We've got to find a way of working hard and winning, and we're a bit short at the moment.
Yeah, we create plenty of chances, but as you alluded to there, chances don't win you football matches, goals do. Aaron Blair getting on the score sheet again today, but when it came to making changes, bringing on Jake Vokins instead of Sam Pearson, what was the thinking behind that? Well,
obviously Jordan came off early in the game, so Josh Lundstrom came on, but he's injured really, or we had to protect him a little bit. He felt his thigh last couple of days training, so that's why he didn't start. And this is me being really transparent. Aaron didn't train yesterday, put a shift in for us today and got his goal, but he went home ill. There's been a little bit in the camp as well. Again, no excuse. We asked Aaron to turn out for us today, and he did well. Sam was completely fatigued really, and we're just lacking like for like options really off the bench. So sometimes we've had to change shape to accommodate that. Today we didn't. We just thought that, you know, maybe Vokins might get an opening down that left hand side and use his quality with his left foot. So look, to be quite honest, if Sam didn't feel fatigued, probably wouldn't have made a change. Apart from Jordan's, obviously, because that was down to injury. So, look, we huffed and puffed, created enough. Were they brilliant chances? Did we pick the right option? Probably not. And that just tells you where we are at the moment.
I suppose it was one of those, I'm almost intrigued to know what you said to the lads after the game, because, like you said, we played well, but ultimately left empty-handed. What was your message to the lads?
Well, we're really honest. We're really honest. An honest group, I think. No one can leave this ground today without a realisation that we're in a real tough spot. When I first came to the club, everyone's talking about chasing that pack of playoffs. I've never bought into the fact that we're in that category, if I'm honest. I think there's a lot of hard work to be done, and look, we had a spike initially, then a dip, albeit a hard run, then a decent run, and then in the last 4 or 5 games have been really poor. So like, amongst that there's been some acceptable performances, but like I said, bottom line is got to win football matches. I've won loads of them, and we will, I've got no doubt, but it doesn't just happen. You know, we've got to ask a little bit more from each and every individual, and we've got to do what we can to help that group as well.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that starts on Monday, going in and preparing for another tough game on the weekend.
Yeah, of course. Look, the work doesn't stop whether you win, lose, draw. We put a shift in. The lads have got pretty much everything they need. We've got to find a way as staff to, you know, we've changed formation, we've changed personnel. Quite often it's down to injuries and bits and pieces. But there was more than enough in that dressing room to get a result. Here today, we didn't manage to do it. So well done, Braintree. They got the first goal, which was a horrible goal from our point of view. Lack of communication, a little bit rash when we were defending on our goal line, and then we thought we did well to get back in the game. Obviously we scored 2 goals that were disallowed, and probably rightly so. I haven't seen them back. Aaron scored a really good goal, and we were in the ascendancy, but to get into that stage we had to make it a little bit of a basketball game, make it a little bit more open. Got Kieran Evans on the ball a bit more. We've got Sam Pearson, Harvey and Aaron more ball in better areas of the pitch, and to be fair to them, they were better, more productive than they were in the first half. But the downside of that is the game becomes open, we get stretched as well. So look, the second goal was a hammer blow, and then of course, a bit like last week, ran out of time. So we've got to find a way of either shutting up shop and being really difficult to play against, or being more clinical when we do go forward. But again, it's on my shoulders. You just asked me what we said to the players. We were really honest with them, and they're honest back. We're all fighting for the same thing, but at the moment it's a difficult place, and we've got to find some solutions quick.
Cheers, Scott.
Cheers.